you feel it. Guys, voice cut. This is the podcast that you're
Hey, what's happening? This is your host, Tinto. And before we get started on this week's episode, I'd like to give a shout out to everybody that got me coffees, starting with you, Tino. 3 generous coffees, and your fantastic message there reads, "It's been a while for sure. Let's have a coffee." Thanks, Tino. Second, damn, where have you been? Tichi today bogus. Welcome into 2026. Yo, 3 generous coffees, and your comment there reads, "Oh my God, Tinto, life was lifing and it's been so long, but I'm catching up on the episodes. Please keep them coming." Oh man, thanks for the consistent support right there. If you'd like to support the podcast a similar way, please head over to www.buymeacoffee.com/Feeling Station and give as the spirit leads. Remember, there's nothing too small to support the podcast that you've grown to love. Another way that you can do it, if you don't want to break the bank just as yet, head over to our Instagram page, click on the link and select sign up to Notes to Feelers. This is a special dedicated quiet space where I share some thoughts and some impactful episodes, or some quotes or discussions in general, and we get to connect. It's really intimate, and I'm liking how it's starting to grow. You don't want to miss being part of this journey. With that out of the way, guess what? We're back to East Africa. We got another Kenyan in the house. Hey, I'm loving what's happening here, man. And yeah, you guys are going to like this episode. I really enjoyed it.
Is that a breakup?
I think we have a situation right here. On the Feeling Station.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm getting quite good at saying habari yako.
You're doing a good job. That's how it's supposed to be said. Habari yako.
And
Yes.
then as far as I'm concerned, you're supposed to say mzuri or mzuri sana.
Yes, mzuri sana.
Kidogo kidogo, I'm learning Swahili.
Okay. You're getting good at it. You actually are.
Welcome to the Feeling Station.
Thank you so much.
For those who are listening to this podcast for the first time, it's a romantic family and friendship breaker podcast showcasing stories that people would like to talk about with a view to give you lessons from their experiences. I hope you find today's story entertaining, but more importantly, meaningful. And as you know, the podcast is really popular for 2 main reasons now. The first being I do my best to keep my guests anonymous by giving them a name from the African continent. Are you ready for the name that I have for you?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I've gone to the beautiful tropical islands of Comoros, off the coast of Southeast Africa. And the name that I have for you is Latifa, which is Latifa. Really easy, Latifa.
Yeah, such a beautiful name.
It is, right? And what it means is somebody who's kind and gentle.
Oh, wow. I think I am kind and gentle.
Yeah? Okay, nice. Well, that's your name. Hope you remember that, Latifa. And
Okay.
what are you calling the person you're talking about today?
So today, the person I'm talking about, I will call him Silver Tongue.
Silvertown.
Tongue.
Oh, Silver Tongue. Yo.
Yes.
I don't know. That sounds both nice and dangerous at the same time, because it sounds like you was sharp-tongued.
Yes, he was. We will
Yeah.
come to find out.
Yeah. Okay. And the second reason why the podcast is doing great is there are real life lessons that people walk away with from the story that you're going to share. So what would you like somebody to take away today?
So I have 4 lessons. The first one is keep the details of your relationship private.
Amen. I'm a huge fan of that. Absolute huge fan of that.
Yes. So the second one is for the ladies specifically. Do not be too quick to share everything with your man because some of them will use it as a weapon against you.
Yep.
The third one is always take advice from people with a pinch of salt.
Mm-hmm.
And the final one, never force a relationship. What is meant to be will be.
Oh, yes. I'll play those back. Number 1, keep the details of your relationship private. Number 2, for the ladies, do not be too quick to share everything with your man because some will use this as a weapon against you. Number 3, always take advice from people with a pinch of salt. And last but not least, never force a relationship. What's meant to be will be. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Latifa,
Yes.
it's your time to shine. Tell us, where did you meet Silver Tongue and why did you decide to give him a chance with you?
So Silver Tongue and I met at a church event that I was invited to by a classmate of mine from university. This classmate specifically had a small crush on me, and I think he was trying to see where this will go to. So he decided to invite me for a church event, and probably we would bond afterwards. So when I saw Silver Tongue during the church event, he was really good looking, very charming, very talkative, and also quite composed. He ticked most of my boxes, like in terms of physical appearance. And from the onset, I kind of noticed him, but I didn't know it would go that far. So we talked, exchanged numbers, and then we kept in touch. Afterwards, the crush kind of faded away, and we never kept touch with the other guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So 1 week after meeting Silver Tongue, I was hosting game night with some of my friends. And while we were catching up, I just mentioned that I had met this guy a week before, and he seemed really nice. And he kind of sparked something in me that I was willing to explore. So I dropped a text. Actually, a friend of mine is the one who she just told me, do you mind inviting him over for game night so that at least we can be 4 people because we were 3. So she told me I call him over to come for game night. So I did, and the guy came. So because he didn't live too far from where I used to stay, so he just took an Uber and came to where I stayed.
Yeah.
We had so much fun that evening, and by the end of the night, I really could feel the chemistry between us. Because we went for a walk after the game night, we went for a walk, got dinner, and he kept on saying these really sweet things. He knew what to say. And it's like for that short period of time that we knew each other, he had already learned me and knew that my love language was words of affirmation. So he kept on telling me I was beautiful. I was the most beautiful girl he had ever seen. So that kind of threw me off. I was falling in love with him slowly.
Sounds like you're falling quite quickly from what
Yes,
you
very
just said. Yeah, okay.
Very quickly, actually. And by the end of the night, not even the end of the night, by the time it was approaching midnight, we were like, okay, it's getting too late. So maybe you can just spend the night at my place and then leave tomorrow morning.
Wait. Who said this? You or him?
I can't remember who it is, but I kind of have a feeling it was
Latifa.
He had taken me to cloud 9. He was telling me all these beautiful things. I didn't want the night to end.
Okay.
So we ended up spending the night. And at that time, I was staying with a friend of mine. So that she had to sleep on the couch. And then me and Silver Tongue took the bed because it was a 1-bedroom house.
Yeah.
So she spent on the couch, and then me and Silver Tongue took the bed, and we made love that first night.
Latifa.
Things were moving too quickly. Too quickly.
I mean, I'm not judging. I get it when chemistry is crazy and then chemistry is really high.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Cool.
So we continued to know each other. Like the weeks that followed, we were inseparable. Like he would call me in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening once he's finished with his day. And it was so beautiful. He'd send me flowers randomly. He'd send me chocolates. Anytime that we'd meet, he threw a compliment. He complimented how I look. He started telling me, that time I used to wear makeup. I loved makeup. So he started telling me, oh, you look so beautiful without makeup. You don't even need to wear makeup. So slowly I started becoming confident in myself. Because at some point in my life, I was dating someone who really put me down, and it kind of affected my self-esteem in a way. So he was building it up slowly and slowly. And by telling me that I look beautiful without makeup, I found a sense of confidence. You know, when I was with him, I felt like I was seen. I felt happy. I felt like a little girl who was being taken care of. And that really felt nice. He made me feel special, chosen, and loved. And I loved it. And my friends also were envious about it. They were like, we're the perfect couple, you know. It was all roses for a couple of months. I think like 3 months. Yeah. So that went on for like 3 months. And As time went by, I also became vulnerable with him. I opened up about my past relationships. I told him about the guy someone I dated initially, who was physically abusive. And he really put me down, and my self-esteem was in the pits. So what he was doing was just building it. And I really, really appreciated that. But at that time, I didn't know that I was actually arming him for like I was giving him the armor to attack me at some point. So we continued to get to know each other, and he was very social with people. He was part of several groups, NGOs, several NGOs, including one that is called Rotaract. So from there, he met a lady we are going to call Lady B. So for me, I worked from home, so my social circle was kind of small,
Yeah.
and I didn't have too many friends. And he had a bigger circle. So one time he decided to introduce me to Lady B because he felt like Lady B was a good lady. She was married, and she was well established and had a bigger friend group. So I would also get to meet other ladies instead of just spending like the weekends at home with my few friends. I'd go out, spend time with the other ladies as well, which I thought was good. So one time Lady B invited us to her place. It was actually her birthday, and I made the effort of making a cake for Lady B. So I took a cake to her, and when we went to visit her, so I brought a cake, and we almost immediately hit it off with the Lady B. And we became friends. That time I didn't have something to wear. I was just in trousers, and she was going out to celebrate her birthday.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh, you can find something in my closet you wear, then we go." I was like, "Okay, sawa sawa, we will go." And then Silver Tongue and Lady B's husband remained behind. So initially, before I met Lady B, Silver Tongue had spoken so highly about Lady B and Lady B's husband, and how they were campus sweethearts, and they had started from humble beginnings,
Yeah.
and right now they had managed to establish themselves, and they were living in a nice house, driving nice cars. So they were a couple that we were looking up to, like it's his opinion was it's good to have people that you can look up to, people that you can look for advice for, people who've been in marriage for a longer period of time. So that was the dynamic between us and this couple. So that night when she invited me for her birthday evening, while we were driving out, Lady B warned me and said that whatever I see while you are out should remain out there. I was a bit stunned.
Okay.
I was a bit stunned because I didn't. That is not the comment I expected. I thought probably we're just going for girls' night out, have a good time, and then come back. But she told me whatever I see out there should remain out there. But I was curious. I was like, okay, sawa sawa, let's go and see what's out there. So we went for wine tasting, and later on we went to a club where she was meeting up with some of her friends. And when we go to the club, the first thing that she did was take her ring off. So she took off her ring, put it in the bag, and then now she unleashed, I think, the true version of herself, because she was all over the place. She was dancing with other guys. She was moving from one table to the other. She was getting bought wine by one guy. She brings it to the table. We dare her, she goes again, gets another bottle of wine. Like it was all fun and games, but it was risky. I was not used to seeing a married woman move like that.
Yeah.
So it was unfamiliar territory. I wasn't sure how to behave in such a scenario. So I was just silent. I was just observing. And also considering what Silver Tongue had told me, she had spoken so highly of this woman and the husband. Yes, so I was now seeing the reality, and it really conflicted what I was told.
Yeah.
So we left the club quite late. Lady B was too drunk to drive. So another friend of hers drove us back home. And on our way home, we picked another guy. So this guy, I had never met him before. He was a friend to Lady B and the lady who was driving us. And quickly the conversation turned so sexual. They were speaking so explicitly that I was a bit lost. I was wondering, is this how marriage is? Like, when we are in the house, when I was with Lady B and the husband, she was humble, she was wifely, she was doing all these duties. But when we are outside, it's a different version of her, and she's open to entertaining other men. So I didn't quite get it. I didn't quite understand what was going on.
Yeah.
So when we got home, because I had already established trust with Silver Tongue, and we would share everything. And it had gotten to a point where there were no secrets between me and Silver Tongue. What did I do? I decided to tell him.
Oh my days.
I know.
Hey, Latifa. Girl code number 1. She asked you, whatever
Yeah.
happens out there, keep it out there.
Yes.
But then again, you were in love and pillow talk rules.
Yes, I was in love. And actually, it was just after we met love. And then I was like,
Ah. Okay.
I was like, these people you've introduced me to, the wife is different. Like when we went out, what she did was took her ring off and she was moving so differently from what I see her doing.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything. He didn't actually react to it. He just listened and we moved on. I thought it was okay. We've had the pillow talk. We are done. That's it. Okay. So after that event, we went back home and we kept in touch with Lady B. We became very close. She even introduced me to some of her friends. They had a circle of ladies. They used to travel like around the country, go for road trips like that. So she introduced me to such ladies.
I see where this might be going now. Yeah, but go on.
Okay, so we got to know each other, and it was really good, like having such a good, such a support system from women. Considering the fact that, from my own experience, I had never experienced such kind of love from women because my job requires me to work from home most of the time. So I don't get the chance to like build such connections with women. So it was quite a good opportunity for me to get to know those ladies and just travel with them and get to know what they're doing, share our struggles. Like it was really nice. It was really empowering. So after a couple of months of seeing Silver Tongue, he suggested that we move in together. So I'll take you back a bit. When we started dating, I had gone to visit Silvertongue at his place. He didn't stay at a big apartment. He was just starting his job. And I was already established. Like I had a bigger apartment. I had fully furnished my apartment and everything. But he was just starting out in life. And I don't know if it's something with all the guys, but most guys tend to buy the essentials only for the house.
Of course, that's all that matters.
So he only had the essentials. He didn't have so many things. He couldn't cook at home, so he didn't have the cookware and everything. So when I got to know him, I started pushing him to buy the cookware and a carpet and things like that. So it was like, instead of me buying all these things for this house, we could just move in together. We could move into your house as we look for a bigger place so that we start life. Now, in reference to Lady B and the husband, he said, you see, even they started from humble beginnings. They started from a smaller house and they graduated slowly and built each other. And now they are okay financially. So he told me that. And I decided, okay, why not? Let's move in. So we moved in together.
Into yours?
Yes, into my house now.
So what happened to the person you were living with?
She had to look for another place.
So you kicked her out?
No, I didn't. It was not really kicking her out because she was also coming from another relationship and she needed to stay with me for a bit before she stabilizes. So at that time, she had already stabilized and she had found a place, just the same apartment. So there was someone who was vacating and she moved to that house.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so it was not really like kicking her out, but she found a better place to stay. So,
out of curiosity, why didn't you move to his?
It was a smaller house and my things could not even fit in his place. It was a studio. Mine was a 1-bedroom.
Okay.
And I had more stuff as compared to his. And then the idea was we move into my house as we look for a 2-bedroom apartment where now we will live together. So,
Had he, but I know this is kind of late in the story. It doesn't sound like he bothered really making things official with you guys. You guys just had sex on the first day that you met, and that was it.
oh yeah, he did ask me to be his girlfriend.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah, he did.
and you said yes to it.
Yes, without even hesitating. I was so deeply in love. I fall in love too quickly, I think.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, and then he was also quite ambitious. So I didn't really see a problem with him moving to my place because I knew he would find a way of making things work. We would find a bigger house within no time. So it was fine. I was okay with the arrangement. So when we moved in together, he would take care of the rent, the electricity bill, the water bill, and the Wi-Fi bills. Like any household bills that needed to be paid, he took care of that. He had a job and a side business as well. So then for me, I'd handle food stuff, shopping, anything like house advancement things, maybe a new carpet or whatever. So that was on me. And then he took care of the other bills. So I also,
So I know this is a random question.
mhm, mhm.
Both of you had obviously moved out of your family homes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Would your family had a problem knowing that you live with a boy? Would his family have had a problem if they knew that he was living with a girl?
I don't think at that time I even cared what my
You?
family would think about. I just wanted my man.
Okay.
Then we were for the idea that we would officialize things once. We had not talked about officiating things, but I knew it would be somewhere in the picture later on after we have established ourselves, after we
Right.
have moved to a bigger place and we had the finances to officialize things.
Right.
Then we would. Right now, in my head, I thought we were building one another,
Yeah.
like we were growing together. So once we get to a place where now we are blooming, then we would officialize things. Then we would start talking about kids.
Got it.
Yeah. So for him, he was very business minded, very, very ambitious, very business minded. I think that's one thing that I really liked about him. His ambition and his business mind. Like he could talk to a CEO of a company and convince him to buy something, and he would. So he started doing business with Lady B's husband. They partnered at some point to import oranges from Tanzania to now my home country, which is Kenya. So he traveled. So the deal went well, and he traveled to Tanzania. He brought the oranges. So everything was fine. That's what I thought. Everything was fine. When he traveled, we kept in touch. We communicated every day. We talked in the morning, lunchtime, evening. Nothing changed, like out of the routine. So one time when he came back, we went to see Lady B and the husband so that Silver Tongue and Lady B's husband could talk about how the importation went and how the sales went, just the business stuff. And then me and Lady B could just catch up on other things. So while we were talking, we were outside. I remember we were having a glass of wine with Lady B. No, with Lady B, we were having a glass of wine, and Lady B started telling me how it was so unprovoked. So she started telling me how men are not to be trusted, and women have to learn how to live with men. And she kept on insisting, you have to learn, you have to understand your man, and you have to tailor your personality to your man. So I was like, is this where are we acting? Like if it's supposed to be love should be open. Love should like you should not cut corners with love. You should not try to fit in a box.
Yeah.
It should just happen. But she continues to tell me that even my own boyfriend is not to be trusted. Apparently, Lady B tells me when Silver Tongue traveled to Tanzania, he not only went there for business, he went there to sample Tanzanian women as
Yo.
well. Yeah. So now I was confused because we talked every day and I never suspected anything. As this guy, he had gotten to a point where he had convinced me so much that I was the only woman for him, even when like I had such confidence
Yeah.
in my relationship. Even we go
Yeah.
out with the girls and someone approaches me, I'll be like, me, I have a boyfriend. I know I have a boyfriend, like I was at that point. So for her to tell me something like that, it was so confusing. So, and then Lady B tells me, don't tell him that I have told you, but you have to move cautiously with men. So she asked me, do we practice protected sex? I told her we don't. We use family planning. So she tells me, you need to start using protection because men cannot be trusted. So this time, I didn't mention to my boyfriend what Lady B had told me. So I now started tailoring my personality to fit him, like don't love. She kept on telling me, don't love a man. You just respect the man, but don't love him. And a man is the pace setter. So if a man sets the pace, if he decides he's going to cheat, he has already set the pace. So there's no problem if you cheated, just as long as he doesn't find out. So those are the advices that I kept on getting from Lady B. And I was so confused. I was like, how do you manage to stay with someone for 10 years? And you have just managed to tailor this personality that suits the guy. But what about you? Aren't you killing yourself while at the same time trying to please this guy? It was very conflicting for me. So after 1 month after visiting Tanzania, so Silver Tongue started behaving in a very funny, insecure way. He started going through my phone. He would tell me to cut off male friends because I did have a couple of male friends, like from university, from where I used to stay, from my parents' neighborhood. I used to keep in touch with a couple of friends, just male friends. And then he started telling me I need to cut all of them off. People that I've known since I was little, I need to cut them off because they would tempt me to cheat. So I never really understood that. And it was a very rough period because every day we would be resolving some allegations. If someone texted me hi and it's a guy, he would ask who it is. He would want me to call them and confirm that we are not together. It was such a messy, unstable period for us. He would even go as far as referring to messages from periods where we were not even together. And he would ask if I was still keeping in touch with these people. Like he'd go to messages of 2020, 2019. And he'd be like, who is this? Why
Way back.
Yes, way back. And then he'd make me call these people just to confirm that we are not together right now. And some people, we are just friends, we were just friends, maybe just keeping tabs. Others, maybe just there was a bit of flirtatious, That time I was not dating anyone, so it was okay for me to flirt with people, but I had not deleted those messages. So he went way back to those messages and brought them back, now starting to accuse me of cheating and talking to other people and saying that why should I even have their contacts if I'm now in a relationship? I should have deleted those contacts long before we started dating. So he became very, very insecure. And I talked to Lady B about it, and Lady B told me, you shouldn't engage with him. Like I shouldn't engage with him in when he wants to fight. I should just keep quiet. I should just keep quiet and let him fight and fight and fight. He will grow over it. So that was his advice.
So let me ask you a question. You had your own friends before, right? I know you said your circle of friends was quite small, but why weren't you talking to them instead?
Because at that time I kind of felt like Lady B was someone that I needed to look up to. And if it was for relationship advice, because my friends were not married for such long periods of time. So I thought probably Lady B has been through this and she would know how to handle it better.
Okay.
I never talked to my friends. I talked to Lady B.
How much older was Lady B than you?
Lady B was like 5 years older than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And she had been married for how long? Do you remember?
She had been married for 10 years.
Oof.
Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah.
They started while they were in campus.
Yeah,
so when she was probably 19 there.
Okay. All right. Got it.
Yeah. So one morning after all this, now we had like 2 months where we were just fighting back and forth. He finds a message, makes me call this guy. I have to talk. Now it was a very rough period. And I was trying my best to not to confront him. And if he just tell me, call this person, I would call them. They would confirm, we'd move on. He'd find another person again, make me call them again. It was just an entire cycle over and over and over again. So after a while, I stopped talking to most of my guy male friends. And yeah, that ended. And then one morning after another similar fight, he told me that he had a job interview. So, as the submissive girlfriend that I was, I woke up in the morning, I prepared him and made sure that he had breakfast, and then he left. He left by around, I think it was around 10. His interview was starting at 11, so he left by around 10. So he went and he was away for less than 3 hours. And then when he came back, I really wanted to make things work from my side. I really wanted things to work. So I had prepared lunch, I served him, we ate. And after that, I wanted us to make over. So after lunch, I wanted us to, make love and we start afresh again. So just before I went down on him, I come across a long brown strand of hair just around his pubic area.
Ah.
I had black hair at that time. So I knew it was not mine. And I had prepared him before he left. So I knew there was no way that hair came from this house. So I never understood where the hair came from. When I confronted him, he started telling me I'm insecure. He had just gone for an interview and what. It was really, really chaotic. So we got into another big argument and I told him I needed space. So I left the house and went to a restaurant. That was in the late evenings. We had a fight the entire afternoon. So late evenings, like at around 3 p.m., I just left the house and went to a restaurant. So I called Lady B and told her about the argument and how he had changed over a couple of months. And we arranged to meet with Lady B. So during the meeting, Lady B told me, this like men can do things to intentionally irritate you. It could be that he even placed that hair there just so that I could find out and see
Nonsense.
my reaction.
Ain't no way. Why would a dude place random hair on his pubic hair?
I
If
don't
if
understand.
anything, I would rather have it on my shirt or on my trousers or something. Why would I be attaching a strand of hair down there?
I also never understood that point. I really never got it. I never got it why he did that. But Lady B told me it could be just a way he wanted to irritate me, or maybe he's looking for a way to leave. He could be looking for any excuse. Maybe I find a mistake on his side and then I decide to leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, if that's the case, let's just have a good time. And while we were there, she also asked me, a question. If he's cheating, so what's stopping you from cheating? He's the pace setter, he's the
What
man, the
is
head of the
going on
family.
here? Lady B is something else.
So she
Yeah.
told me because they had known each other way before even we met.
Yeah.
So she told me he's a really good guy in terms of providing. And I kind of feel like Lady B was primarily there with the husband because the husband was able to provide whatever she wanted. So it was easy for her to like shapeshift and take different personalities depending on which one would be better for the husband at that particular time. So it was easy for her to do that. So she told me, I have known this guy now, Silvertongue. I have known Silvertongue for a long period of time as compared to you. And he has a very successful future ahead.
Mm-hmm.
He is very family oriented, but one weakness that he has, he likes women. So she asked me, if you want to stay with Silvertongue, you can show him that you can have a life outside him, but still remain submissive to him. When you go back home, you treat him well, but then don't ask too many questions, but you can still have a life outside. Like that doesn't stop you from having a life outside. You should always prioritize yourself. So I went back home feeling so confused because this is not the version of love that I was introduced to by Silvertongue. He sold me this fairy tale where two people come together, they build one another, they grow together in love, and they build a happy family. But what I'm getting this other side is you need to don't ask too many questions, just fit the version of your husband that is appropriate and everything will be fine and you can have a life outside. But that was not something that I was willing to do, because living a double life it was a bit difficult, because I wanted to be vulnerable with my person
Yeah.
and still have that connection, that genuine connection with them.
Mm-hmm.
But now Lady B is telling me I need to take up different personalities. It was a bit difficult. It was actually very difficult for me. So when I went home, I was very, very conflicted. And one question that I had to ask myself was I ready to tolerate this other side of him? Like, is this something that I am willing to live with? So that was a question that was just going through my mind over and over and over again. And I knew the answer, but I didn't want to accept it at that time. I knew I didn't have the bandwidth to shapeshift every other time. I knew I'm a lover girl. I wanted to be loved and I wanted to love my man openly. But this shape shifting doesn't really work for me. But then, considering the fact that this guy has been there, he's managed to build my confidence. Now I can go out without even putting on makeup and thinking about what I'm wearing, because I already know my man has affirmed me that I'm
Yeah.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't want to let go of that part, but at the same time, I couldn't accept that I had to share him with other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I came back really late after meeting up with Lady B. I came back to the house really late, and this was also grounds for another fight. So he started telling me he had not slept actually. He was waiting up on me. So, and he never even called me while I was outside. So he started telling me, since I became friends with Lady B, I've borrowed some of her traits as well. I come home late, I cheat on him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Lady B has taught me how to cheat and not to be caught. I'm wondering where has all this come from? So that time when we were having that argument, he had the guts to call me, I don't know if this is going to be censored.
No, it won't be. but we've got grown folk, so
Okay.
it's okay. Yeah,
It's allowed?
yeah.
Okay, so he called me a whore at that time during
Mm-mm.
that fight. And that was the last straw for me. I was like, this is it. There is no way he's going to disrespect me in my own house.
Yeah.
This is someone that I have accepted to come and stay in my own house. And then he wants to disrespect me in my own house. So I was like, no, this is not happening. This is it. So I threw him out. I actually took his clothes, threw them out, and told him to pack everything and leave and go. And it was in the middle of the night. It was around 11 p.m.
Hmm.
So he took his stuff. I think he told me later that he went to stay at the sister's place. So he went, and we stayed with no contact for, I think, 2 months. But he kept on calling. He kept on checking up on me. He was like, can we talk? Nanini? But I was very hesitant because I knew I had to make the decision. If I was going to be with him, I would have to share him with other people, and I was not ready for that. And the fact that it's gotten to a point where he can't even respect me in my own house, I just didn't like that. So after the 2 months, I started going back to the feelings that were there when we first met. So I started reminiscing on how he made me feel when the
Mm-mm.
relationship was young. I also
Mm.
remembered the plans that we had, because we had really big plans. And it made me miss him. I really wanted us to get back to each other and at least make things work, you
Mm.
know? So we were nearing the end of the year. This was around November when I was starting to feel all these emotions. And I had not seen anyone, and we had just kept close communication with Lady B, but not that much. It's like when we ended the relationship when I threw him out, there was also some distance between me and Lady B. It's like, I don't know how that happened, but it was just automatic. So I remembered all the plans that we had, and it made me really miss him. And on New Year's Eve, I decided to call him. It was actually on 30th. I decided to call him. I told him if we could meet on 31st so that we could start the year together, and so that we could talk things out and start on a new slate. And he kept on giving me excuses that evening he needed to be with his brother. But I was hopeful that he would reach out maybe by the end of day and confirm, because I wanted us to go. to the church. I wanted us to go to church on New Year's Eve so that we could celebrate New Year in church with prayer and, just with good vibes, good godly vibes. And if we are starting a family now from the following year, things would just be okay. So that same day, now after that was 30th, now on 31st, I called Lady B and I wanted to tell her how I was feeling and how and that we had broken up. We had taken a break from the relationship, and I really wanted a shoulder to lean on. But when I called Lady B, she gave me the wildest news. Show me when Silvertongue went to stay with his sister, he arranged for a meeting with Lady B's husband because apparently he was also going through that breakup period, so he needed someone to talk to.
Yeah.
So he went and talked to Lady B's husband. And when Silvertongue went to meet Lady B's husband, he told him everything that I had told her, that I had told him about Lady B.
Yo.
So Silvertongue said that so now he was telling Lady B's husband, he said that ever since I met Lady B, I became a different person. I used to come home late. I used to entertain multiple men and even went ahead and told the husband the details of the birthday now. When we were at the club, when she removed the ring, when we went and picked up another guy, even the details of our trips that we were making around the country, he went and told the husband everything. So all this time, Lady B was not talking to me because she knew she was handling the mess in her relationship. But then it was not in my place or in Silvertongue's place to reveal such information.
No. Especially to the husband, yeah.
Yes, especially to the husband. It was not our place to reveal that. And considering the fact that we were also going through our own personal issues, even when they met with Lady B's husband, I thought probably they would just focus on talking about our own issues and not drag Lady B to that conversation. So all this time, Lady B was silent. She was dealing with the mess that I and Silvertongue had created in her marriage. So he started telling Lady B's husband that Lady B is not the woman that he thinks she is, and he just tainted her name completely, and it really created a lot of resentment, especially from Lady B's husband now to Lady B. So it kind of shifted their relationship in a way, but in the end, they still managed to work their way through, and they're still together even up to now. But for me, I was really embarrassed. I was heartbroken. Like on that 31st, like the day that I wanted to meet him and talk to him was the day that I found out he had told my friend's husband everything about our escapades and everything. And I was just telling this information to him in confidence and as part of Pillow Talk. For Pillow Talk should just remain as Pillow Talk. It should end the minute you leave the bed. It shouldn't go beyond that. That's what I thought. But Lady B was very composed. She didn't shout at me. She didn't blame me. She only asked me if I shared the information out of spite or was it during Pillow Talk. So I told her it was during Pillow Talk. And she told me not to tell my boyfriend about the conversation that I've had with her. So even during this time when I was reaching out to her to consult her about my relationship, so now we started talking about her own ordeal. And I think that was the last time I ever talked to Lady B because we never kept tabs after that. Yeah. So that New Year's, I was really, really low and I was feeling really betrayed by someone that I thought would never hurt me. And at the same time, I had lost a good friend because in as much as she had her own weaknesses in her marriage, she was still she was still a good person. She was a fun person to be around. I appreciate the moments that we spent together, even with the other ladies. I got to meet other women there in her close circle, other women that I also look up to, and other women that would give you solid advice, even about motherhood and things like that. So I got to learn so much about such things when I was in that circle. But the minute the information was out there, now I was even removed from the group. It was such an embarrassing period for me. And yeah, so that 31st, I was really, really low and I felt betrayed. So I called another friend of mine, the lady, you remember the lady that I told you I stayed with
Yeah.
before? And then she moved to a different apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to call her, and we'll call her Lady P.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to call her, but I didn't want to vent. I just wanted to escape. I just wanted to escape from those feelings, the feelings of betrayal, the feelings of hurt. I just wanted to escape for a moment. So since it was on 31st, I asked her if I could third wheel on her New Year Eve's plans with a boyfriend. At that time, she was dating someone else.
Mm-mm.
So she was willing and she came and picked me up with a boyfriend. And we moved around town trying to find a spot where we could watch the fireworks. And we tried several places. The first place was too full. Then we moved to a second location, but the vibes were not really what we were looking for. So we went to a third place. And the third place now, it was great. The music was amazing and there was enough sitting space. And we found a table where we sat. And for some reason that night, while we were just driving around, I was kind of decompressing and just letting go of all these negative feelings. I felt like a burden had been lifted off my shoulders. Like I couldn't, I now knew that I'm not going to pretend. I don't want to feel like I am not myself just because I needed to please someone else. So I felt like there was a burden that had been eased from me. And also the fact that the truth was out there anyway. And it just I felt lighter,
Mm-hmm.
for lack of a better word. I felt lighter and very hopeful for the new year. And I was smiling all through this, despite the negativities that had happened a couple of days ago. I was just feeling happier and lighter. So during that night, I was just having a good time. I really wanted to have a good time and then go back home, set my priorities straight, come up with a vision board, focus more on my career. Like it was now going to be about me. And on that night, I bumped into the most handsome man my eyes had ever seen. He was
Mm-hmm.
tall, he was muscular, not too muscular, but he was masculine. And then he had full beards and he had a
Mm-hmm.
very beautiful smile. And we hit it off. And 3 years down the line, he became my husband.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So, despite every negative turn in my story, there was still a light at the end of the tunnel.
You know, this is really encouraging for some people who are having a bit of dread and they've just
Yeah.
been through a relationship and they're not sure whether they can find something else.
Mm.
Did you ever imagine that you would find your husband in a place like that?
No, I was not even set. Like that night, I was not looking for anyone. I just wanted it to be my night, my day. I just have a
Yeah,
good time and then go back home and focus on me. So I
yeah.
had turned the attention to me now. I didn't want to focus on men or anything. But then I bumped into him and he turned out to be a great person.
Look at that.
Yeah.
I've heard this before that a lot of the good things that happen to us come when we least expect it.
Yeah, that is so true.
And usually situations that make us feel really down is the catapult effect. We're just getting set up for something that is bigger and better.
Yeah, that is very, very true.
And that is what your story here is saying.
Yeah.
So did Silver Tongue after that point just vanish after that night that you spent out?
No, he did not vanish. He
Oh.
vanished for a couple of months. Then he came back. He wanted us to talk. He came back. He started reaching out. He started calling. But at that time, I was in another relationship.
Yeah.
Because it was on 1st January, and on 14th February, this guy, now my husband, asked me to be his girlfriend.
Hey,
And
on Valentine's, yeah?
yes.
Okay, so you guys have just celebrated 2 days ago. You celebrated the first time that he
Yes.
asked you to be his
His
girlfriend. Your
girlfriend. Yes.
anniversary.
Yes. 3 years anniversary. So when
Yes.
Silver Tongue was coming back, this was in April.
Mm.
So he had gotten a better job. At that time, he didn't. His job was not very, very stable. Like, he was getting paid, but not enough. So at this time, when he was coming back, he came back. He had gotten a better job. He was driving a good, not a good car. He was driving.
Mhm.
So he came to see me. He was like, we should get back together, and we need to talk. These things happened. Yes, but I do apologize for dragging you through the mud. So yes, I wanted to listen to him. Like, I deep down, I wanted to prove a point.
Mhm.
Like, I wanted to show him, even if at that time you didn't want to be with me, I found better.
Okay,
So it was more
right.
like revenge in a way. I don't
Mhm.
know. so, so when we met, I just listened to him, and then I told him, no, I am dating. So, but he took it as a challenge.
Hmm.
He took it as a challenge. He was like, but I don't see a ring on your finger. I was like, in as much as there's no ring, I am in love. I'm in another relationship. So he kept on trying and trying and trying. So for the last 3 years, he kept on coming back, calling, wanting to meet up. Sometimes he passes by. I also opened a business somewhere. So
Mhm.
sometimes he would pass by the business just to come and see me. I'd still deny him. And then now, recently, the beginning, no, that was last year, when my husband proposed to me to be his wife. That is when now he stopped reaching out.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is one of those feel good stories. I really like how this has turned out.
Yeah, me too. It was an interesting one.
A different question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Since he was still pursuing you when you're now somebody's person, how did your husband feel about it?
I never told him. He does not know anything about my past.
He better not listen to this podcast, you know.
He does not listen to podcasts.
And I will stop the questioning right there. I
He does
don't
not.
I don't want to have no trouble coming my way. Latifa, that's a really incredible story. It's actually quite heartwarming knowing that you were able to go to such a low place and come back up with something that you seem really happy for.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of comes through in the way that you've told the story, that you're in a really good space now.
Yeah, I am. I am now.
And if I'm to play back your lessons, number one, keep the details of your relationship private. Well, yes. And keep the details of others' relationships private as well, especially if they ask.
Yes.
Latifa. Yeah.
A lesson I learned the hard way.
Because, the thing about these sort of things, right, is if somebody's doing something that they shouldn't be in the dark, it will always come out. Always. It's usually not a question of if it comes out, it's when it comes out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
hey, acknowledge it and stay out of it.
Yeah.
Number two, for the ladies, do not be too quick to share everything with your man, because some of them will use them as a weapon against you. This one, Silver Tongue, they pulled a really messed up move, by bringing out all of that stuff. And it sounds like, although the couple had been together for about 10 years, she knew what she was dealing with.
Yeah, she did.
So she knew that infidelity wasn't a deal breaker for them as a couple.
Yeah.
And I guess that's what takes us to point number three, that always take advice with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Right? They were giving you advice based on what the experiences were, but it wasn't suitable advice for you. Maybe because you hadn't spent enough time with each other to understand your relationship dynamic. So it wasn't the right thing to do or for you to listen to. Then number four, never force a relationship. What's meant to be will be. I mean, look at where you are now.
Yeah.
Right?
If I would have forced it.
Yeah. If you had forced it, you'd still be wondering about oranges from Tanzania. And where they're still sampling some of those. And busy inspecting other people's growing to see if there's fresh strands of hair. Can you imagine? That's some nonsense. Well, thanks, Latifa, for that incredible story. And you guys have been listening to another episode of The Feeling Station. I'm your host, Tinto, and I will catch you in next week's episode.
Tell me what you're feeling.
Sati's on Daru Raini and Chagezai.
Tell me what you're feeling. Now that it's over.
Sati's on Daru Raini and Chagezai.
Let me talk about my feelings. Let me talk about my feelings, yeah.
Urudoi motoru noto kujidziro amai.
Kujidziro amai. Love is a fire.
Urudoi motoru noto kujidziro amai.